Fortified their structures against attack.
The last time Dahak played anti-mage was... Okay, alright.
See, everyone got happy with Spirit Breaker. Thank you, thank you.
So what makes this a good Spirit Breaker game? Or is it a good Spirit Breaker?
Yeah, T-Gov.
Okay, so gotta sell this one to the people. No, Spirit Breaker, it's about aggression, it's about lockdown, it's about fight. You have people that follow up. I think that's the main thing. Maybe in the post-TI kind of era, you yourself was a killer, but with heroes like Void Spirit, Grimstroke, it's easy execution. You collapse them out quite quickly, you fight, you know your CK is gonna have good farm early on, and that extra bit of control will help kind of tide it over.
Yeah, because CK always kind of functions as like blow up one guy in this able to get that kill. His illusions won't be dealt with right away. Maybe he gets 2 kills.
Like, it's the build that particularly destroys these heroes.
And Atos can interrupt charge as he's coming through. It's so good. He's going to show up to all these fights with his ultimate, and then he can go back to farming.
Does that mean that Bedboom is going to play for the late game and need a carry for the Hawk that will be able to do that in the last pick?
I mean, they could pivot the lanes. They could do SB support, Grim, and that could be the offlane CK. That way those counters aren't as strong. But, I mean, Underlord is pretty good against a lot of traditional carries anyways. And a lot of strength heroes are popular right now. He's still good against all those. Do you guys see a solution?
I want to say that they're going to pick Necrophos here.
We have seen the Hawk play that before on the stage.
I don't know how great it is. I think that's the one game that Bedboom looked weak in the past few series. They lost
Hammer.
They went Meteor Hammer Necro.
Yeah, they played it twice, one win, one loss.
I think some Viper style offlane for Bedboom could work well. You know, just put Grim CK as a safe lane.
Yep.
The Spirit Breaker enables the aggression of the Viper. The Shard eventually gives you some high ground siege, and it gives you enough of the fight that it could just be obnoxious.
All right, on the other side, we got Bedboom banning out some of Hector's heroes with the Troll and the Luna removed from the pool.
Wait a minute.
Waiting?
Bat Rider's not banned.
Bat Rider is still in the pool.
I feel like this is going to be a mid-Underlord. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense.
I'm oohing you like, oh, go on, Jenkins.
I'm looking at the draft. That makes absolutely no sense. It would be a great bat game if they didn't literally have the 2 roles that it can play. Unless we see some like Hector carry Underlord.
Okay, we need a carry most likely, right?
Yeah.
Most likely. We got Beast Coast so far. They banned out the Death Prophet, so they are expecting this seek.
Base damage against all these strength heroes. BKB to cover herself, more tower damage that they're going to need, since CK is okay at hitting towers, but not that great.
I kind of feel like for Beast Coast at least, some Void style carry might just like kind of work well for them. You can soak up, you can time walk through the Spirit Breaker charge. Oh, they have Shaman. Offlane Spirit Breaker.
So they'll up the tempo,
yep.
And it will take Roche, take towers. That's where their tower hitting is coming from.
Yep. This is going to be, every time you have Shaman ultimate, You either want to take a tower, you want to either take a Roshan. If you're not using it for that, this draft will fill that kind of in their ability to move across the map.
10 seconds.
Yeah, they needed the Shaman there. That feels like a really nice pick to round out the draft.
Good
honestly.
disable against Storm too, if
Yeah.
you do catch him when he's balling back and forth.
It does a lot. It does a lot. And it's like it's not like the Serpent Wards or nothing about Shadow Shaman cares about getting pitted.
Yeah.
Like Atos doesn't interrupt your grip.
And these bans as well from BetBoom, they knew it was an offlane Spirit Breaker, right? The Troll, the Luna, these heroes would just slaughter an offlane Spirit Breaker.
Dude, look how many Hector heroes are banned.
It's all
It's like
one,
all
two,
of them
yeah,
in the first phase.
Oh.
That's so funny.
And guess what? There's still plenty more heroes in the pool for him. He's actually got a quite deep hero pool.
Yeah.
Of course, the Spectre that we saw him play previous game is still in there as well.
I'd like a Razor style carry, but I don't think I've seen Beast Coast ever play it.
Oh, they'll go
I think
for the
a Razor.
Wraith King, the classic.
Sure.
The classic, yeah.
The
You
Hector
absorb
classic.
up the initiation and you play. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it covers some of the defensive issues that they might have if he gets jumped first. So he stays alive. It gives you time for Underlord to show up.
Yeah.
Got a little stun, Initiator. You can hit the back line. It's always good to have those like jump, stun, high damage physical heroes against Grimstroke. So I kind of like it.
Again, I think my one fear for Beast Coast is just the early game. Once again, when you have a Wraith King carry, you got this, tiny Pugna support, so you're not having much explosive damage, and you rely on a couple items to come into play. So, BetBoom, if they get off to a good start, they can close out the map once again. It's just, can they not have that one moment where they allow Beast Coast back into the game?
Yeah, I think Beast Coast has better lanes this time. I think they have good early skirmish. Like Underlord's going to be a total beast.
Yes.
And Pugna Storm, like you can run around and kill anybody, and Hector's just going to farm. This is a much easier draft for them to execute.
So will we go to a third game, Purge?
I think so. I do like their draft much better. They played pretty good last game. It was very difficult with their heroes.
I gotta go Team Spirit Breaker, unfortunately. It happens. If it's picked, I have to side with it. So hopefully
In
Spirit
the
Breaker wins.
contract.
Yeah, it's in the contract.
I'll go Beast Coast.
All right, well, let's see if we're going to get that third game here.
Thank you very much, Steve. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2 here between BetBoom and Beast Coast. Fog, we've got quite different drafts really
Yes.
from both of them, sort of BetBoom in particular. Beast Coast, of course, ending with a classic. They get that K1 Wraith King in.
Yeah, I kind of like this Beast Coast draft a lot better. I know last time I was really quite siding with BetBoom, but this time I think Beast Coast, they can fight back earlier. I think this last time was a lot harder for them to really play into like mid game. This time I see the lanes going a lot better, so I hate to say it, but I have to side with Jenkins a little bit.
Okay. And what do you sort of think of the Spirit Breaker pickup? I think not something that we're seeing every game, but we're going to get some action from it here on the side of BetBoom, of course, playing it on the offlane.
I actually have to check before I say anything, because I want to see, was it played at all here? Is that the first one? It's the first one I've seen.
I can't wait to see what Notus is going to be able to do with it. He's got some great heroes to combo with. Now, BetBoom, very much ready to bring the action. But of course, this time round, as you said, definitely sort of a step up in Beast Coast being able to match what BetBoom want to do when it comes to these skirmishes. And Beast Coast, we saw how well their sort of team fight execution was in
Yes.
that one moment from last game. If they're able to reciprocate that a few times here, BetBoom may struggle.
Yeah, and I like that I'm surprised that they actually got it, but they get the Underlord versus CK carry. Like, I was actually surprised because it was looking kind of defined that it was going to be Dahak playing the CK, and they give Whisper the Underlord. This we've seen has been one of the top bans in like the third, fourth phase in the tournament because CK is one of the most picked in these strength cores, etc. because of this annoying Firestorm, this percent pace damage, and also just the pit. This game, the pit is super valuable as well.
Yeah, the
so
root.
I really thought Underlord was going to get banned down. It looks like an excellent game for it. And yeah, you mentioned skirmishing. I think Beast Coast has an infinitely better skirmishing draft than they did the last time around.
And good ways to turn up as well, right? If sort of anyone's going out, pushing out lanes on the map, BetBoom, if they charge in, you got to be ready for Beast Coast to maybe turn up in style with the Fiendscape from the Underlords. All ready to start. Gojira is going to get gone on here.
Nice.
Very nice remnant there, leveled up by Lal as he'll drag back Gojira. He's looking to try and get towards Roshan for a deny, but Lal will be able to take him down and get that first blood.
That's how you do it, guys. Like, you see that Aether Remnant? That was a nice shot there. You gotta ward your mid player. Dahak saves it for him, blocks it perfectly. I love it. Even though he's the safe lane. How many safe laners would have taken that kill usually?
Exactly, yeah. BetBoom making sure that Lal gets the boost to start things off. And it's going to be all very, very important, especially in this matchup. Void versus Storm could go either way. Lal having that bit of a heads up beginning.
Up top.
Maybe the difference maker. Top, Snako.
Starting as 3.
See if Gojira's going to be able to chase him down. They're in with the avalanche. They'll get the setup. Another blast and a few more punches. Seneko should go down. There we have it. Beast Coast.
Okay.
We saw last game it took them an ever so long time until they could get their first bit of action. This time round, Beast Coast making sure they keep up with Bet Boom from the first minute.
Yeah, really cool how they do that. They're going to leave the Tiny up top. Now they're going to bring the Pugna bottom to support. Pugna Wraith King, very strong lane. We'll see how Notice is able to do. I haven't gotten to see the Spirit Breaker too much since all these nerfs. I think it did get played once this tournament, did lose. But yeah, we'll see what he's going to be able to do with it. Does look like he can be a bit tough. He does have a pretty decent catch, of course, versus Storm, and there was limited disable when they had picked it out, but now with the Root, with the Wraith King stun and Avalanche, it might be difficult for Notice to get stuff done in the mid-game.
Yeah, without a doubt, K1 is going to have a much better time than he did last game. We saw how much struggle he had to endure during that laning stage against what Bet Boom laned against him. So he's going to be much happier here in the start of this game too.
Still an aggressive lane, though, this Grim and this Spirit Breaker. They can definitely look to pressure K1. If Stinger walks away at all, they can go straight onto K1. So Stinger, I think he has to stay down here pretty close to the Wraith King at all times.
Do you imagine we'll see them sort of try and make a move now that they hit the level 2, or do they kind of need that third level to have the punch to go on a Wraith King?
I think Batpoon can make a lot of aggressive moves here. Especially if like a stun gets thrown out, you have a huge window to make any play. So I was mentioning they just use stun bottom, and instantly after the stun gets used, they charge Inkswell onto Stinger.
We'll be able to get back underneath the tower. He'll be fine. K1 trying to stand his ground a bit. He's got the stick charges as well, so he'll be perfectly okay.
Is this going to be that much easier of a lane for him, actually? It looks like it might turn to be a pretty difficult lane. He does have the Pugna behind him, but I see Stinger actually went for a Decrepify, which is a bit different. Usually you just see the Pugna ward because you counteract, you do so much damage back to all the spells that they cast. But
top lane Gojira. If Seneko finds him with his shackles.
Oh, he looks pretty...
Oh, a little bit of... Oh, nice. A little bit of sneaking around here from Gojira. He's going to be able to get away from the two of them. A very nice spot to stand his ground in, knowing exactly where they'd sweep up and down the tree line, and he makes it round them.
Take a look at mid. Do see Chris having the best time of all the cores on his team. As soon as we say that,
good remnant.
Laurel.
As C-Smart does still have the verifiers we saw. He's going to be fine. Both baiting in one another to get this action going.
Yeah, he's got 13 wand charges, so feeling very safe versus that Storm. Oh, Chris. This could catch him off guard. Seneko's at the ready. Yeah, he knows. Gojira's going to scout it over. Now, Chris, maybe in a weird spot. Laro's going to build the pressure, maybe push him out, maybe even potentially kill him here.
He's only got the 1-1 charge. So he's got the pullback. Lal just needs that one last hit. He's not able to get it in, so C-Smart will live. He'll have to take the walk back to base for a bit of time, where the lane's going to be completely free for Lal to farm. Back in the jungle, Seneko is looking for Gojira. Ooh, little Mango in a toss back. No, that's just going to go and save his life then. Again, Gojira coming out with these cute little moves as the supports, making sure that Bet Boom don't get the kills on him.
Does have to go all the way back as well, though. So now 2 lanes, Storm and the Tiny back at base. Definitely see Bet Boom get aggressive.
Yeah, going to try to set things up with the Inkswell, but able to get him with the charge. Just himself now very, very low.
Really interesting to see Stinger. He even puts the Nether point in the blast. 0 points in the Nether ward. As we've mentioned multiple times, the Nether ward, it deals more damage back to you than what you cast. So
he's going to try and go for Stinger now. They can get the slow, not quite get the connection onto Stinger. So he's fine. And K1 still, he's suffering the most out of the cores.
But doing better than last time.
Yeah, exactly. I think sort of this point last game he had about the 10 CS. Definitely going better for him this time round at the start.
Bet Boom having a very solid 3 lanes, though. Whisper, he's keeping up, though. This Underlord, he's going to be the big one to watch in the mid-game. So him having a good start is going to be really important for Beast Coast. This Root is going to be devastating, honestly. This Pit versus Void Spirit versus Spirit Breaker versus CK, it's going to be massive in some of these mid-game fights. Bottom.
You get the kill there. Gojira turning in from the side. Will get the 2 of them with the avalanche. Stick charges will be popped with the toss. Horse Major gets taken down. Good bash from Notice. Secures the kill and return on Stinger.
The good bash. I love it.
At the same time, top lane, they tried to make a bit of a move onto Whisper once they knew that he was alone. Out the shackles. Now Hack is going to step back in. If they have enough damage with they've got to be a bit careful. Whisper very hard. Oh my goodness. That was a risky one there from Bet Boom, but it pays off. They get the kill and they both survive.
I was a little worried because the Hawk used the stun while he was actually still shackled, so that was a little bit weird there. He's just trying to get the damage in from it, but almost ends up turns and loses his life. Sineko high fives the tower and suicides. He'll be back to the lane in a moment.
I'll look for the quick reset, make sure that he's got that mana to play with when the Underlord turns back up to the top lane around the river. Gojira did look like he wanted to interrupt the attempt from BetBoom to get the runes, but won't be able to stop Lal from grabbing that arcane.
One of the best runes you can find early on these spirits. Really active already though. Gojira, I think he's been World Traveler, all 3 lanes in these first 6 minutes. Top again.
They're going to try and make another move on Whisper.
He's very far up.
Look at there. It's going to be back up on its way over, and BetBoom, they know it. They won't continue to commit for the kill on Underlord. Whisper will live.
Nice lane ward. I think that was placed just before Sineko did suicide.
See over in the mid, Lal. He tried to get in aggressively with that arcane rune onto Stinger.
Nice deny.
You won't find him initially. Has now got the wave in a position where that tier 1 is going to start to take a fair bit of damage with the siege creep. Top lane, Beast Coast, they're looking for action. Snako will be able to hold back Whisper though, and Lal, he's TP'd over towards the top to help out. Seasmar goes in with the zip, gets in onto the Shaman, takes him out, but Beast Coast, they lose Whisper for that attempt.
Again, losing Whisper, it's costly.
They might lose more here, Lal. We'll step over towards Gojira. He's going to look to grab the bounty rim, but Seasmar's in. They've got enough between the two of them to take down Lal. He's still got Dissimilate and 1 charges, so unlikely they can really commit for the kill, especially with Force Major coming across, throws out a silence, make sure that Lal's escape is covered.
It's always a little dicey for Beast Coast, right? They're like, oh man, there could be like a Spirit Breaker charge potentially. I mean, they did see him for a moment down, but they didn't see the Grimstroke, so have to be careful of the backup, as we know. BetBoom, they play fast.
Lal. A bit of damage here with the combo. Snako also TPing over in case Chris did look to dive.
Refill the bottle as well, Laurel. Got able to play around this next 8-minute power rune. Potentially all the supports playing around mid. Oh, Notice is getting a ton of fun. Oh, they actually get the grab.
Remnant's going to be off the mark, and that's going to give Chris the opportunity to just turn and look to make a move himself. He gets in on top of Snako, takes him out. Got to be careful on Lal. Lal doesn't jump out in time.
He's just dead.
Gojira's just able to walk up, get the avalanche off. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had Astral Steps and escapes, but I guess he just felt that he was further away from the Tiny than he was. He gets taken down. That's a massive kill there on the mid.
2 back-to-back big mistakes there from Laurel.
Yeah.
The Aether Remnant probably doesn't get a kill or anything like that, but missing that one and then dying, costly. Force Majeure. It's a good silence. The stun will connect.
Can't do enough damage on his own though. Chris, more than fine. Got some mana to play with. But yeah, Lal's got to be careful. He's now suddenly in a position where he's at the bottom of the core net worth. And I feel like we've seen so many times with Void Spirits, if this hero starts to fall behind at the start, it's very hard to get yourself back in on the game. You've got to stay on top as a mid Void Spirit.
Especially from what we've seen this tournament, where we'll probably see Whisper get like... the Underlord build's been a little different. This tournament's been like this Treads Atos like semi-carry, but if they go pipe and they have Pug and Nether Ward, look at Void Spirit. What's he going to do when they have all this type of magic resistance and negation? It's going to be problematic. Pugna already versus Void Spirit is going to cause problems later on.
We'll see this again. Lal, indeed, you know, he had the step up all the time, but Gojira just walks up, avalanche on him. I mean, he had full vision as well. There was a ward down, so he saw Gojira coming in from a mile off. Just felt a little too comfortable.
Fine K1 though, and they did proc that ulti before bottom when we were watching the fight mid. Did see Notice? He was able to kill the Wraith King the first time, so are able to sneak in and get a big kill. Notice is really farmed, by the way, also. Phase Boots plus the Blitz Knuckles. Kind of a pretty early Shadow Blade up on him. Even start though, 6-5, less than 1k lead for Beast Coast. And looks like we potentially have a tower trade going on.
I think if they can maybe find Sting up.
Let's get him.
Should be fine here.
Stinger level 6, 3 points in Blast even.
I mean, can they TP over and look to defend this? Or do you think they'll just let it go?
How's our HP pools? I don't think they're gonna set up for the defense. Nah, it's dead. Storm no TP. Tiny no TP. No way they can go. So Stinger just has to hide. He'll catch it afterwards. Low level supports on the side of BetBoom though. Level 5 on Force Major, and they are giving Sineko top. Whisper comes down here.
Down to see if they can maybe get something out of this one. See Seasmart from the side, looking to zip in. He's going to go for it.
Into the Aether Remnant.
He should still be able to continue his way over towards the Grim. Force Major taken out. So Beast Coast, they may lose a tower, but they get a kill from this. See over in the mid, Kajira. A bit of a quick toss combo onto Notice. K1 will start to step up, but the rest of Beast Coast sat down bottom, so Notice will be fine. And one component now away from the Shadow Blade for the offlane Spirit Breaker.
It's going to be an early one.
Oh, they're going to smoke again. You see Chris getting very, very active here as the Storm. 2-0-2 so far. He's had a great start.
Looks like BetBoom might get aggressive themselves. They see Whisper bottom, and he may be tanky, but not versus these three.
Now he's pretty far away from any sort of backup.
He looks very dead.
Now the question is what Beast Coast can do at the same time. They're in on towards Taneko. Not quite as big of a kill as that the BetBoom find against Whisper.
Maybe they can set up for some pressure onto the mid lane, since I was mentioning Stinger's build this game. We usually don't see this on the support Pugnas where they're maxing out the blast, but he does have the 3 points right now. He'll get spotted, so he'll know there's some sort of vision in the area, but yeah. He's aware of where it is the next time with the D ward.
K1 with the armlet done, and the fact that his ult's back up. Go back to farming in these sort of greedier positions around the mid. It's much less appealing of a target now for BetBoom to try and commit for.
Yeah, he's keeping up. He's only a little bit behind that CK, which is pretty huge. I mean, 0-1-1, and when you look at the Hawk, he has 3 kills, so the fact that the Wraith King's only 700 behind is pretty big. And Stinger will find that D ward, as we mentioned. And now we'll start putting more points into his Nether ward.
Smoke time for BetBoom. Lal wanting to make the move with Taneko. They're sort of waiting to see if Chris shows on the top lane for the creeps. Taneko ready to set up.
Oh, he showed himself.
I think he saw him on the creeps, right? So that little bit of a movement, Chris sees all he needs to see and he's out of there.
Like a split second of vision. He was dead for sure there. Mid tower, look at Stinger. He's just blasting the tower from the sidelines this time though. He'll get punished for it.
A fair bit of damage done though.
Yep, I think he got like 3, 4, 5 blasts even.
And of course on their side of the river, their tower, actually kind of in a similar situation. It's under half HP, but BetBoom, obviously with their lineup this time round, much more about going for the kills rather than for the early tower pushes.
When are they going to go for the push with Taneko though? Right now they have the Mass Serpent wards, he TP's mid.
Oh yeah, he's got the 6, yeah.
They want to turn it into a kill and a tower. So looking for the kill onto Chris Luck.
They're going to try for this. Chris, he's quick with the reaction, quick step to the side, but he still gets caught in the stun from that charge. And the Inkswell. We'll see Beast Coast try and get some kills in return. They turn over towards Lal, but the Soulbind from Force Major out onto the 2 of them with that silence. Means Lar's going to have the space to get out to the side. Stinger tries to go with the light drain on Taneko, but the charge is there. They'll look to burst through the 2 of them. They take down K1 the once. He's back for round 2, Lal. Still much mana to play with. A great step across into the 3-man Inkswell setup there. Force Major has to be careful as he looks to step away to Hack. Staying on top of Whisper. Another charge from Noticed over towards K1. Lal on the retreat. He'll get out of there. He's even thinking about maybe jumping back over if Kajira gets too close to the tower. As Kajira can get in range for an avalanche. He could try for this. It's going to be a big zip from Chris. He plays his chance to try and close on Lal. He's going to be able to do it.
He actually gets him.
Commits his entire mana pool there to hunt for Lal, and it's a roaring success there. Gets him with the setup, and that's all they needed to finish Lal off.
I think that's actually exactly what turns the tides of the change. I think maybe it was like still slightly BetBoom favored out of all of it, but now they get a DD rune, and they're going to get the pressure afterwards. A big jump there from Chris.
Yeah, because very hard to avoid this sort of initiation.
Yep. I don't think they expected the Shadow Blade this early. I think that really did catch him off guard, the speed that he was able to connect. He knows he made that misplay. Instead of zipping through the Spirit Breaker, he did zip away from him.
Initial charge, it was rather hard for BetBoom to really get their next kill right.
It was very close.
Second life.
Like everybody almost died. Like the Hawk was also man fighting versus Whisper down to like 10%. It was very close to it being maybe a disaster for them.
BetBoom's going to keep it going.
Yeah.
Back out with the smoke. They've got their eyes on Kajiro. Turn with the avalanche. That's going to be the charge. Inkswell put to a stop. So he'll be able to get himself back under the tower. And this 5-man move from BetBoom won't get anything towards the bottom. Still a couple of them smoked up. They could try and look towards the mid. Noticed. He'll just look to deal with the creeps. Try and keep this tower alive as long as they can.
Their lineup is all about that fast-paced aggression this time around on BetBoom. They do not want to slow down, let the Wraith King just sit back and farm. With this Grim, with the Spirit Breaker, I'd imagine they're kind of paired together for the rest of the game. And if we have hit 15 minutes...
That's Taneko, he's just going to slam it down here on the mid lane. Get this tier 1 taken out.
Gets denied, though.
All right. He's just going to be able to farm up some of these wards as well. Okay, no.
He's going to deny him.
Taneko's going to deny.
Chris, though. They find him.
That's a big find there. Maybe feeling a little too safe underneath the observer ward they had deep in the jungle of Betbu.
It is a very killer combo. Like we said, they're going to be paired together the entirety of the rest of this game.
They're going to try and go for more now, Betboom. They've taken out the Storm. They'll see if they can find a chance to set up for another. They certainly can. Stinger taken down in a couple of hits here from Dahak.
The Grimstroke Shard online is going to make it very easy for the Spirit Breaker to just commit into the fights most of the time. They do have a blink on. They actually have a blink on Gojira somehow. He's been farming very well, but
should be dead here.
Will die.
As Gojira, no escape for him. See if they can get a few bashes in as well. There we go. They'll charge over. Gojira will go down. But one of the things that could maybe play. Oh, unless he can juke this.
No, he's dead.
He's very dead. They will find him.
But that bought time.
And that does mean that maybe when he respawns, they might not have expected that he just got the Blink Dagger finished. So the Blink reveal from Gojira could be pretty big when he comes back into action in 20 seconds.
It's pretty early. And with Arcane boots, they probably think he's poor.
And when
he
you
went
just
for
killed
Arcanes.
it.
Yeah, that's pretty big how fast he's able to have it. And they're going to have Chris Luck with his BKB soon. Desto on K1.
They hit hard.
So very close, even early game.
And we'll regain some of their vision around this area there, half of the map, Beast Coast. And Whisper also opting for the BKB, so he can get really stuck in on the fight. Ensure that he's able to continuously lock someone down. I mean, we've seen a few times now the little things like the silence of the Phantom Embrace have slowed down Whisper's availability of locking down the heroes like the Void Spirit, that are jumping all across the fight.
Beast Coast have a timing here for sure. BKB with that Atos also. I think they can look for some type of catch in fights here. With the blink on Tiny too. Now they have a better form of initiation. Mid tower is low too, Stinger. He's got the max blast. One more will take it away. Oh, Chris wants it though for himself.
It doesn't look like Betboom are too interested in taking a fight around this area. Lal. 1,400 gold away from the Aghanims. But it will, of course, come at a time where their BKBs are in play. They'll get the jump in on the mid. And see if they can get him out of it. Oh, Chris! Oh my goodness! He's put the BKB, but he's leashed soulbound together here. He gets taken down. Chris dying there despite the BKB. That leash leaving him no opportunity to run.
And now, do they have Shaman Wards? They can go for Roche.
They're going to go straight for it.
Chris.
Oh, they might.
A big mistake.
They can actually go in with the charge towards K1. We'll see if they commit with this. Notice. No, he's going to hold back. He's more than happy to just see the rest of his team head into the pit, drop down the wards. 2 heroes dead on Beast Coast. They still have the rest of the lineup around.
It's hard to
Scanded as well. We'll see if these three can get in to slow this down.
Might have to just go for a steal play. I think it's eyes on Gojira. Can he make the jump?
Is he going to get there in time? It's already gone. He'll jump in. By the Roshan, it's been taken down. The Aegis picked up by Lal. Now Betboom can turn for a kill onto the Tiny by the looks of it. Let's K1 actually. Oh, okay. The Aegis was picked up and immediately taken away there as K1's able to come in with the damage. The root is there on the respawn.
He's dead.
Avalanche as well. Gojira gets back in. They take Lal down a second time. The control from Beast Coast heroes, these roots, meaning that once you get that opener onto the Voice Spirit, onto Lal, he hasn't got any other options left to escape.
He has to be a lot more careful. As we said, that root is going to trip them up constantly in this game. All three of their cores have to be very careful playing into it.
Yeah, not something that he's necessarily going to have much protection from. Of course, wanting to go for this Aghanims, the aggressive build, I mean that he's not going to have the quickest of timing on any sort of item that will be able to save himself from that lockdown.
And K1 is probably so happy because now he has 4 stacks of Deso because of that.
And that double benefit. And well on the way towards the BKB. These, as I say, these BKBs from Beast Coast are going to make it very difficult for Betboom to get these kills. You know, we've seen already, and for Lal, 5-3-5, you know, it's not a bad KDA, but it's getting closer and closer to the point of the game where the burst of the Void Spirit, Beast Coast aren't going to care.
Agreed. Especially when they're going to be getting toward a Wraith Pact very soon on Stinger. Max Nether Ward plus Wraith Pact, like Void Spirit's damage goes pretty low.
That's a hack. He's still there at the top level with the farmer K1, of course. BKB and going back to finish off this Echo Saber once more. Before that BKB, or even after, he can still get affected by the leash. And the physical from Dahak will tear him apart.
Dahak just has to be careful of Whisper. That's kind of like the biggest thing. Everybody else he can deal with quite easily as this DK, but it's just the Firestorm and the pick combo that will be tripping up in most situations.
A close game on the numbers though, 12 to 15. 1K lead at the moment for Beast Coast. But absolutely swing either way in a team fight. Beast Coast, they're going to look for it. Smoke up from the mid.
Chris just has to be the most careful, right? He's just the one that has to watch out for the leash. Rest of his team has been able to deal with all that really well.
See Gojira.
Ooh.
They want to try and come in for notice. They will. They'll get him in the root. Toss back with the avalanche. It's going to
Nice
be a
fight.
dead Spirit Breaker.
They want more.
It's going to be underneath the tier 2 though. If they look to dive this. And Gojira, he will have blink again in a second. TP out from Force Mage. It's going to be put to a stop. Gojira steps in, catches him with the stun. Be another kill for Beast Coast, and the creep wave in a great position. So they'll now be able to look towards taking this tier 2 tower down. And with 2 dead on Bet Boom, should be pretty hard for them to pull together a defense.
They should be, yeah, they should be able to take this tower out for sure.
They're looking for the trade down
they have
bottom.
Skeletons. They're going for trade. But they do not kill nearly at the same pace. Hector is even considering going a little bit more, maybe just lifestealing off creep wave, but they can hit this a bit more. They have a catapult.
I mean, they're going to have the full BKB coming out for K1. And of course, he's got the reincarnation. We'll see that maybe burst very quickly. Indeed, it does. He presents himself on the high ground, and Lal will take his first life very, very easily.
The pit's down, though. They can't commit past it.
Yeah, they can't charge through.
Now, okay, Wraith King ult is down.
Yeah.
I think Bet Boom, they back up, clear this wave out, look for a smoke, catch the Wraith King. But Beast Coast, I'd imagine they're going to be ready for this play.
Let's see what they go for next. Beast Coast.
Wait, okay, they did use smoke. It's spotted, though. I think it was they still saw inside of the base. So Beast Coast should be very aware that the smoke comes out. So Hector, I feel like he just has to play in a very defensive position right now. Have Whisper in a position to just body for him, because Whisper, he shouldn't die. He should be able to get his BKB off in most of the situations.
Yeah, Beast Coast falling back, fully defensive in preparation for this sweep across the map from Bet Boom. We'll see notice.
It's an illusion.
And a full move revealed. Beast Coast not going to get caught out by this one bit.
Good moves from Beast Coast this game. 3K gold lead. Stinger even pressuring top. Might pay with his life. Very likely dead.
And they'll catch him. Obviously, for Beast Coast, the least of their worries in terms of heroes they could lose to Bet Boom, especially when it was pretty much Bet Boom moving around the map as a full 5-man. So a lot of time and space there where Beast Coast carries and cores are going to be very happy elsewhere.
Yeah, he's just shoving the lane. I mean, this is what... He's kind of playing the 4 position a little bit more now as this Pugno, since the Tiny has gotten his Blink Dagger, so he can do these type of plays and doesn't get too much for Bet Boom as Wraith King's ult back up in 20 seconds. K1 will be a lot safer now.
Yeah, they definitely could look to go again then. Making good progress towards that Blink Dagger, making sure he as well has chances to get in. And whatever his teammates find the jump upon, whether Gojira or Chris gets that initiation, he'll be there to back up. And here we go, smoke time. As soon as the reincarnation's ready to go back up, they want to get K1 involved in the action. They know how strong he is right now as the Wraith King.
Senego looks like he might just drop towards top as well too, force a move up toward him. So see where Beast Coast looks to punish.
They can catch Dahak. The
toss play.
We're going to be able to toss back, indeed, the Grim over towards Dahak. So that's Force Major gone. Dahak popping the BKB. He's going to opt for the TP out. He doesn't want to try and take this fight. He'll escape this.
Top tower will go down. No deny this time around.
Yeah, Bet Boom
Beast Coast.
trying to do their best to find these objectives around Beast Coast, willingness to hunt for action. And notice, I mean,
to finish the BKB. He needs it.
Yeah,
he can't go through the root. Until he has that, he cannot really charge through root almost ever in any of these fights. So it's going to be really difficult for him to fight. Laurel, same thing. BKB's queued up.
They've got to get him on these cores.
Yeah, he's getting close.
Does mean the Beast Coast, they'll have the space to take down some tier 2s. The bottom tower taken out. Bet Boom, no interest of turning up until those BKBs are done.
Okay, so Gojira is actually the one holding onto the Philosopher's Stone. I thought he'd pass it over to the Pugna, but Stinger, he already has his Wraith Pack done, so maybe that's all he wants. Still think like... I mean, 4 Staff's going to be super valuable for either of these supports, and to point out on the other side, Bet Boom, they also have a Philosopher's Stone. Always have to point this out for some of these 4 positions to continue scaling as Whisper should be fine.
Yeah, not much that Notice can do on his own up here. He will reveal himself. Should be fine, though, at the edge of the range that Whisper would have potentially had with an Atos.
And again, Bet Boom. I've seen them do this so many times in these last few weeks. Buying the gem. Even though they're not in any advantage, they still just pick it up, just really wanted to get that vision lead somehow. I like it. I've been seeing this more and more. Noticed.
It's going to be found by K1, but charges at the ready. He'll head straight back over to the safety half now. Oh, Chris always
Chris,
going to
he got him.
Oh, okay. All right, he's used a lot of his mana, so he doesn't have much left to finish off the kill. Let's see if indeed the backup's coming in, so Chris won't be able to commit for that, but a very nice attempt there from Chris, catching him mid-charge.
It looked pretty. And he's got a rune coming up in 2 seconds too, so he'll find a regen. He'll be he'll be rewarded for it.
Boom, Lal, about 600 left on his BKB. We'll see it again here. Chris, a master of the angles that he needs to hit there. Swinging past and making sure he grabs him during that bull lightning, so there's no chance of being knocked back by the charge.
Find out Roche in about 10 seconds. And a full Lincoln's now on Chris, and he has the regen rune as we mentioned before. So they should be able to have a presence on the map when that Roche does respawn shortly. Let's see the timer. It's a long one.
It would be a good time to go. I mean, Lal, and he's in a very, very safe position. In fact, that is the BKB done. So that window where maybe BetBoom would have been very vulnerable to the initiation of heroes like the Storm Spirit, it is gone now. With the BKBs, BetBoom should always stand a chance of turning and standing strong in the fight.
Ah, Dota 2 right now. Triple BKB cores at the ready on both sides. So both teams definitely are keen to fight. Just depends on the location of where it will be and who gets the jump first. I was mentioning earlier about these Philosopher Stones, as we just pointed out, Force Major there. He's halfway toward an Aghanims on the Grimstroke, a really impactful one versus Wraith King too, if they're able to get it.
We'll see here.
Gets cancelled.
Oh, Sting up. He's going to get gone upon. He did get the Nether Ward down, won't be able to protect himself. Chris, he's going to go for the backlines. Big zip straight over towards the Shaman, takes out Seneko. He's now going to look towards the second support, see if we can take out Force Major, but the mana's running low. Good pit out onto the 3 of them, will lock them down. K1 stepping forward, he'll get him with the stun onto Force Major. Big hit here from the Wraith King, takes out the Grimstroke. As Beast Coast, they'll get the 2 of them. See if they can get more from this. Chris, zip over towards Lal, won't be able to pull him back in time. Lal's out with the Dissimulate. Chris using that last bit of mana to try and keep eyes on Lal. And Lal should be fine here. Still has another Dissimulate and a step. He's in fact just going to be able to go for the straight TP out, knowing that they've got no further way to close the gap there. Beast Coast, but just lose 1 support. They'll take the 2 of them from BetBoom on that.
They're getting pretty huge. K1 is massive this game, 17,500 net worth. He's got an AC too, so he already kind of has the counter versus Dahak.
Absolutely, and he's getting those Desto stacks. He's building that damage up nicely.
I think Beast Coast is really feeling how strong they are. I think BetBoom is going to struggle to fight in these next situations. You're already starting to see that damage fall off pretty hard. They catch the Pugna alone, but it still took him a little bit to kill him. Gives time for Chris Luck to go in, and yeah, Roche, 30 seconds.
30 seconds, I guess, well, pretty much all the BKBs will be ready to pop once more, so we'll see both teams for sure turn up.
I think Dahak is trying to get that level 20 pretty badly. Once he gets that, then we'll see that Reality Rift pierces spell immunity. It'll be easier for him to commit on a target. But before that, I don't see BetBoom being able to fight very well into Beast Coast. Feels very difficult into all these auras. And Roche, it is back. Stinger already in the pit and ready.
See BetBoom set up around the mid-tier 2 with the smoke. They're ready to go straight over. Beast Coast, they'll do it quick, but not quick enough that it'll be done before BetBoom's able to have a say about it.
Not quite 20 on Dahak, so he does not have the pull yet through those BKBs.
This side, Lal. He's going to try and make the jump over towards Gajira. That's the reveal there of BetBoom's first move. And
the Roche is dead.
I mean, Beast Coast, they'll be able to continue on this. So Gajira making space outside of the pit as they go for him. Means that Beast Coast, they have all the space to get that Aegis securely into the hands of Chris.
It's similar to like the last game. If Beast Coast is set up for a fight, BetBoom can't walk into it. The Pugna Ward is down, the Wraith Pact is down, and all these different auras, as we're mentioning, they just have so many. The AC, the Vlads, just the Atrophy aura in general that they've got.
Charge over towards Gajira, and he does reveal his positioning going for the outpost, but he's got backup. K1's going to charge straight away in on towards Lal, but the BKBs are out. Gajira goes down. See if they can pull back K1. She's still got the reincarnation. He'll turn towards Notice. Notice wanting to control K1, gets him back with the ultimate, knocks him over towards the Remnant, but a buyback is there from the Tiny. Chris commits straight over again, catching the supports onto the backlines. He's on top of Seneko. Seneko will go down as himself and Force Major taken out of the team fight.
They're trying to chase to get some type of big kills, but they just can't in any of these situations. Beast Coast up to a 7K gold lead. It's feeling a lot easier for them to kind of do anything on the map. The K1 is massive, never has any fear of dying. And yeah, just it is so many different auras that they do have. And I'm looking at BetBoom, they have no auras at all. You're playing versus like Vlad's, the Nether Ward, the Wraith Pact. You're playing versus Atrophiora. There's so many different elements. You have to do 2 to 3 times more damage on the side of BetBoom than the Beast Coast does to kill anybody in most of these fights. Yeah, 40 bonus damage still on Whisper.
With the AC and the Desert taken into account for K1, these buildings are going to fall pretty quickly.
You see Dahak there. I think he knows this game is getting pretty out of hand pretty fast. They've got the Grimstroke Ags.
See what they can do here with the 4 of them. Charging over towards K1, but how much they really want to commit in on to killing this Wraith King. They'll burst him low, and they finish him off. Not quite. K1's going to be able to protect that reincarnation. Couldn't quite take him out. He'll start healing up as well off the creeps.
They don't even get him the once.
As they get what they came for. The mid-racks taken out. Beast Coast able to get the objective. Retreat and with no losses on their side. 13k up. And doing very, very well now in this position. And K1 looking to be in prime position to carry this game.
Starting to feel almost like smooth sailing. These fights just look so impossible for BetBoom to kill anybody. I don't know how they kill these tanky cores.
All tier 2s, of course, already taken this game by Beast Coast. So any chance they get to push a lane out, BetBoom almost certainly going to lose further areas of the base. Flag's now done on Chris. I mean, we've seen already how great of a zip forward that he's had to start multiple team fights, getting straight on top of the supports each and every time. It's made it almost possible for Snake and Force Major to play their game.
Yeah, now they have like these beautiful symphony of spells that they can combo up with the Vortex into a pit, into Cleave from the Wraith King as he has the 20 talent too. Yeah, that's feeling super hard, honestly. Dahak, I feel like he can't even walk out to farm very well now either. The constant threat of this Tiny, the constant threat of the Storm too. Even just the element of Fiend's Gate being able to jump on top of them. And throwing another aura into the mix too. The Underlord now has a Shiva, so already seeing the damage issues before from BetBoom. Now it just feels like they're never going to be able to kill almost anybody. Maybe the supports, but the core is definitely not.
BetBoom stepping out.
Let's see. Can they find anybody isolated?
So hard to commit though. They know that Beast Coast very, very close to one another.
And I don't think you can kill the Wraith King.
Do you really want to go on K1? I don't think so.
He's got his overwhelming blink coming out on the Courier too. Okay, they do have the Dark Portrait for a second though, but K1 quickly brings it down. And now,
I mean, K1 still wants to go. He's going to go in onto Force Major. The Glimmer will separate Force Major from the Wraith King for now, and K1's gone pretty deep. Serpent wards are down, Hex to set up, but the rest of Beast Coast are turning up, and here's Chris straight over towards the Grimstroke, takes out Force Major, over towards Seneko. We'll see the root control here, locking down Dahak. Dahak trying to bring down K1 just the once, will manage to do so, but now with the rest of his BKB, he has to run. The BKB is going to come to an end, so does his life. Triple kill for Chris. As BetBoom, again, looking like they stand no chance against Beast Coast at this point of the game.
It's over for sure. 17,000 gold lead. CK dead, Void Spirit dead. They might just be able to hit tier 4s. They're pinging it. They're thinking about it, but
they don't have the buybacks on the cores. Very little that BetBoom can do. They might try and stall it out to see if they can get one more fight up in a minute. But Beast Coast, I don't think they're going to give them the chance to. Gajira already in onto Notice. Ready to look for the jump onto the Spirit Breaker. He's teasing with them, trying to keep their focus away from the buildings, but they'll kill him very easily. A toss back towards K1, he gets taken down. See a buyback come out here from Notice. Still 40 seconds they need to buy until they'll have the full team back up. Beast Coast cleaning up another set of barracks. The Mega Creeps are out. As Beast Coast, they'll keep the pressure on. They're ready to look to close this one up. Over to the side, Gajira gets the toss back onto the two of them. The Avalanche as well. Vortex onto the three of them. Chris dragging them in. And they'll zip forward, take down Sadeko, take down Notice. GG, it's called. And Beast Coast, they'll swing back in game 2 and get the victory here. Bringing the series now 1-1 between them and BetBoom. I mean, Fog, the start of this game, it looked like already Beast
Way
Coast,
better.
they were turning up with a much smoother draft, and this is what you want to see, right? This dynamic where K1, he's getting involved, he's getting active. He had a great game. He was pretty much at the top the whole time here as the Wraith King.
Yeah, it was a really clean game. I think we're all happy to get to see